晨3点钟的时候，我让你们看有多少人现在在上海睡桥洞。
It's 3 a.m. right now, and I want to show you how many people are sleeping under the bridges in Shanghai. This is one of those bridges underpasses, the kind under elevated highways. Let me take you over and show you. We'll keep our voices down, since they're probably already asleep. I don't know whose father this is or whose son. Here are 3 people, then the 4th one. Here's the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And they don't even have tents. So many delivery workers, and not a single tent. Here's the 12th. And there's another one here. This is Shanghai, often hailed as the economic powerhouse of China. However, the surface prosperity fails to mask the underlying issues. I've lived for over 30 years, and this is the first time I've seen such a massive wave of unemployment. My father's generation, he's over 60 now, says that even they have never seen such a severe unemployment crisis. The whole city of Shanghai feels lifeless, and the flow of people is so much less than it used to be. I open job apps, and it's the same few companies over and over. People say, good companies don't hire, good factories don't recruit. That just means those jobs are terrible, and no one wants to take them. So they keep hiring. New job opportunities just aren't appearing. I thought about setting up a street stall, but I'm scared the city management will catch me every day. I really feel helpless. It's not just in the city, it's the same in the countryside. Now the villages are full of unemployed youth, wandering around at home every day. Even when they do find work, the pay is shockingly little. The blogger mentioned that the severity of the unemployment wave makes it hard to predict when the situation will improve. Some people have expressed pessimism, suggesting it could get worse. If this trend continues, they fear they might have no choice but to seek living abroad. Another worker in Shanghai shared that he has lost his job again. Despite driving a luxury car, he now finds himself having to temporarily live in a basement.
家人们失业了。
I'm unemployed here in Shanghai. Oh, it's tough. Can you even imagine driving a car worth 500,000, drinking from a big bucket of tap water? I can't even afford gas, can't pay the rent. Today I found a basement for 800 yuan, and I'm going to stay here for a month. Let me show you the neighborhood. This is the entrance to the 2nd floor. I'm planning to stick it out for a month. Then we'll see. Look at this. An 800 yuan basement. There's the kitchen, there's a bathroom. It's a half basement, no air conditioning, no washing machine, but it has a window and a wardrobe. 800 yuan. Guangdong, which is a historically strong economic province in China, is now facing similar challenges. On June 16th, the intersection of Guangming Road and Binjiang East Road in Guangdong Province, about 100 meters southeast of Binjiang Park, benches were filled with homeless, unemployed individuals. The vlogger noted that the number of unemployed people is steadily increasing, with many of them choosing to give up and lie flat. On the night of June 15th, at 1 a.m., another vlogger captured a scene at Shenzhen East Railway Station.
同志们，这是天桥。
This is the overpass, the one at Shenzhen East Station. See that? These homeless people, men and women, are making a home here. This is Shenzhen. Can you believe what you're seeing? There's even an elderly person here. Looks like he's an artist. I won't disturb them. But there's a person making music, and their clothes are drying over here. This is Longgang District. I'm standing on the overpass next to the Sanhe Rencai Market, looking down, and it's all people lying on the ground, working odd jobs. They can't even afford a 15 yuan bed for the night, so they just lay down wherever they can on the steps. This is Shenzhen. In Guangzhou, many people are sleeping under bridges. Most of them rely on food delivery services to make a living, and many were once employees in big companies. To save costs, they try to minimize expenses and have no choice but to live in these cramped spaces, taking on low-income jobs to support their families.
这是在广东深圳街头看到的一幕。
This is a scene I saw on the streets of Guangzhou and Shenzhen. These are people who came to Shenzhen with dreams, but in the end, they've all become homeless. Seeing this really stirs something inside me. It's hard to stay calm.
看嘛，找工作的人太多了。
Look,
There are so many people looking for work. Never imagined in my wildest dreams that the unemployment rate would be this high. Never thought it would be so easy for society to just discard someone.
今天是6月16。
Today is June 16th. It's 9:50 a.m. Just look at how business is doing in Guangzhou. There are so many people here. And from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., no one can find work. A young unemployed man said,
我是93年的。
I was born in 1993, and, unfortunately, I've recently become unemployed. Suddenly I feel like, at my age, I have no ability to withstand risks. Do you guys understand this feeling? A vlogger recorded the people sleeping under the bridge and remarked,
广州海珠区每天几十万个失业。
In Haizhu District, Guangzhou, tens of thousands of people are unemployed. These people are forced to sleep under the bridges. This is Guangzhou, a first-tier city. But there are so many people sleeping under bridges. Who can understand their struggles and hardships? This year, it's really tough to find a job in Guangzhou. They are sacrificing for the sake of saving money for their families. Who can understand that? Who can really feel what they're going through? How is life for people in Guangzhou right now? One blogger candidly stated,
说出来你可能都不敢相信。
You might not believe it when I say it, but here it goes. On the surface, Guangzhou still looks like a bustling metropolis. Zhujiang New Town is busy with traffic, and the Tianhe Business District is packed with people. The office buildings look shiny and impressive, but I can't even take out 5,000 yuan from my bank card. The number of delivery drivers keeps growing, and each delivery pays only 4 yuan. Even if they work 14 hours a day, they still can't make much money. The bosses in the clothing wholesale market say business is even harder now than during the pandemic, but the rent hasn't dropped a bit. The rent in urban villages goes up every year, and half of a fresh graduate salary goes straight to the landlord. They say that the average savings in Guangzhou aren't low, but how many people are constantly juggling credit cards and loans just to pay for their mortgage and car loan? The news of layoffs keeps coming in, one after another. Middle-aged people in their 30s who lose their jobs end up driving ride-hailing cars or delivering food. If this continues, how much longer can ordinary people in Guangzhou hold on?
今天的工价是25块钱一个小时啊。
Today's wage is 25 yuan per hour. Look at how many people showed up. As soon as the wage goes up, a whole crowd of people rushes to the factories to work. The factories don't even worry about not being able to find workers. Just look at how many people came today, all here for interviews.
给大家最后一个忠告啊，
Here's my final piece of advice. If you don't have money, don't come to Guangzhou to work. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. You'll 100% struggle to find a job, and then you'll end up like me, wandering around, sleeping under bridges at night, and eating steamed buns during the day. Guangzhou, known as the southern gateway of China, is facing a growing unemployment issue. According to relevant data, the number of unemployed people in Guangzhou reached 900,000 in 2024. As 2025 begins, the situation remains severe. Online videos show a significant number of people unemployed in Guangzhou, with few job openings in the market and difficulty for job seekers. Many companies are hiring adaptable workers for low wages, with job offers for recent graduates starting at just 3,000 yuan per month. Some job seekers have spent over a week in Guangzhou without finding employment, and anxiety is spreading among the job-seeking population. Companies that once supported Guangzhou's economy, such as Cedar Holdings, Evergrande Group, and Guangzhou Automobile Group, are facing difficulties, causing many small and medium-sized businesses in the supply chain to close, leading to significant job cuts. Unemployment not only impacts individuals and families' economic situations, but many are also facing pressures from mortgages and car loans, causing a sharp decline in living standards. Psychologically, repeated setbacks in the job search process are leading to increased anxiety and diminished confidence, further straining family relationships. Behind the wave of unemployment is the decline of industries, especially the shrinking of the manufacturing sector. One of the most frequently discussed terms in China's current economy is inflation, which is actually the result of overcapacity, though the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, does not acknowledge it.
明明是缺少订单。
You're telling me there's overcapacity, but we're clearly lacking orders? Over here in Donguan is basically all order-based production. Customers place the orders and then we arrange the production and shipment, right? So in this situation, how can you say there's overcapacity? We're clearly short on orders. 2 people are working, but there are no orders, just the 2 of us, and all these machines are left idle. No need to say more. That's the situation. There are just no orders. A blogger remarked that the industrial zones in Donguan are now eerily quiet. The factories that have moved away have been leaving behind empty buildings. Even when jobs are found, the wages are very low. Let me say it again. 9 yuan per hour.
广东真的是低工价来的。
Guangdong really has low wages. I just joined a factory and I worked for an hour for nothing. You join a factory and you have to deal with the team leader's bad attitude. As soon as I got there, they were telling me to hurry up, and setting quotas for how much we should produce in an hour. Why don't they say how much we'll get paid for that hour? It's still 15 yuan per hour. What's there to even work for? If you haven't been to Guangdong, don't come. Coming to Guangdong means dealing with frustration, low wages, and no one's hiring. Millions of people are unemployed, and there's nowhere to even live.
In fact, Zhejiang, a major province for foreign trade, is also experiencing this situation. Many people are unable to find work, and returning home has become difficult as they struggle to face their families.
今年我可能要退出浙江打工生活了。
This year, I might have to quit my working life in Zhejiang. I've made a big decision. I just can't handle it anymore. I want to go back home. Working away from home isn't something you do for just 3 or 5 days. And right now, I don't have a job. I only worked 6 days in June, and now there's nothing at all. June is almost over, and I still don't have work. I'm just lying around in my rental room every day. The rent is slowly starting to come due, and by the 30th, I have to pay it again. I might not even have work next month. I thought that once I had a job in June, I could relax and focus on working, pay the rent, and everything would be fine. But now, as this month ends, it's still the same. I just lie around every day, eating 1 meal a day. My family really thinks I'm busy with work, but I'm too afraid to call home.
A vlogger stated that over the next 3 months, the number of company bankruptcies and unemployed individuals is likely to rise significantly.
我是一个失业的中年人。
I'm an unemployed middle-aged person, and I've been looking for a job for a week with no progress. On the job platforms, either the messages are unread or they've been read with no response. This year, there are over 12 million new graduates, with nearly 250,000 in Shanghai alone. On one side, various businesses, large and small, are constantly laying off employees, and the number of unemployed people keeps rising. On the other hand, the number of new graduates keeps increasing every year. What are we going to do about this job market? A vlogger captured a scene where the square is filled with street vendors, indicating that the number of unemployed people has become overwhelming.
也说明了一个问题，很多人都找不到工作。
This shows one thing. Many people can't find a job, and many have lost their basic income. They're left with no choice but to set up street stalls, but I don't know how much they can actually make in a day. Some people say it feels like going back 10 or more years. Back then, setting up a stall meant that clever people could make money just by doing business. Now, setting up a stall is about the only way left to make a living. There are no other channels to earn money, and they have to rely on that to feed their families. The hardships of unemployment is something only they truly understand.
其实我到今天我才知道就业真的非常的困难。
Today, I finally realized how hard it really is to find a job. Today, the company I worked at for 2 years fired me, and I'm really anxious about it. I haven't been able to sleep for a whole week. Every day, I stay awake until 2 or 3 early in the morning, and only when I'm completely exhausted can I finally fall asleep.
Without a job, life is indeed very difficult.
我已经没有钱用了。
Everyone, I've run out of money. All I have left now is everything I've got. 10 yuan and 14 coins. That's all my belongings. Right now, my cigarette addiction is really bad. I finished my last cigarette just 2 or 3 hours ago. If I use this money to buy cigarettes, I might end up without food. So, I can't buy cigarettes anymore. A vlogger who owns a shop shared that they encountered a person who had no money and acted dishonestly.
现在还真的有50块钱都拿不出来的人吗？
Are there really people who can't even come up with 50 yuan? Just now a big guy came in, took 2 chicken legs right when he walked in, and even opened a bottle of beer. After eating, he stared at me and said, "Boss, can you let me pay next time?" I haven't worked for 2 months. I just looked at him in disbelief and said, "How could I let you pay next time?" He replied, "I don't have any money right now." A vlogger who runs a shop shared an incident involving a customer who ordered an expensive meal without having the money to pay. The vlogger expressed frustration, saying that if someone cannot afford such a meal, even asking for instant noodles would have been acceptable. He noted that there was little he could do, as calling the police would not help in such a case, and he would have to accept the loss. Despite the growing hardships faced by the Chinese public, the Chinese Communist Party leadership continues to spend large sums of money on projects abroad. On June 17th, during the China Central Asia Summit held in Astana, Kazakhstan, CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping announced that China would provide 1.5 billion yuan in grant aid in Central Asian countries this year. The funds are intended for projects related to public welfare and development. Although this amount is much lower than the 26 billion yuan announced 2 years ago, the new aid package still sparked public criticism online. On Chinese social media, some users posted memes and labeled Xi as the biggest squanderer in history. On overseas platforms that require users in China to bypass internet restrictions, many expressed their unhappiness. Some comments included, "The domestic economy is in such bad shape. This is hard to watch. Sending money again? Why not give it to the Chinese people?" And once again, showing off with people's hard-earned money. The reality for many in China remains difficult. Even those with jobs are struggling. A recent video posted by a vlogger shows the daily challenges faced by food delivery workers. The vlogger commented, "Sometimes I feel like giving up from exhaustion, but then I realize there's no choice. Life doesn't give you a chance to stop. You just have to grit your teeth and keep going." China's National Bureau of Statistics released unemployment figures by age group for May. The jobless rate for urban residents aged 16 to 24, excluding students, was 14.9%. For those aged 25 to 29, it was 7%. The unemployment rate for people aged 30 to 59 was 3%. On June 16th, a spokesperson from the National Bureau of Statistics claimed that China's employment situation is stable and that youth employment has increased for 3 consecutive months. This statement was met with widespread criticism. In the comment section, over 40,000 users were in disbelief. Many wrote, "Many workers aren't even counted. Rural households are excluded, and it's a survey-based rate, not an actual statistic." One person even commented, "Don't believe a single punctuation mark."
官方说5%的失业率，但你知道有多少人灵活就业吗？
The official unemployment rate is said to be 5%. But do you know how many people are in flexible employment? Delivery drivers, DD drivers, street vendors, does that count as unemployment? Corporate employees work 48.5 hours a week, and the capitalists are laughing all the way to the bank. Young people are working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. But has that resulted in higher wages or lower housing prices? Experts say employment is stable, but why are recruitment platforms flooded with job posts? And people still can't find work? In the comments section, do you dare to speak the truth? Are there many employed people around you? Many netizens believe that the actual unemployment rate is much higher than the official figures. Some estimate that the unemployment rate could be as high as 40%, while others suggest it could even reach 50%. U.S. economist David Huang has pointed out that China's rural population is vast, but the government only counts urban residents who are registered. Those not registered are not considered unemployed. Additionally, rural residents are classified as part of the rural labor force and are not included in the statistics. The CCP's criteria for calculating unemployment are also strict. If someone works even a few days in a month, they are considered employed. which deviates significantly from international standards. In 2023, Zhang Dandan, an associate professor of economics in Peking University, published research indicating that the actual youth unemployment rate in China could be as high as 46.5%, far exceeding the 21.3% figure officially reported that year. This year, 12.2 million university graduates have entered the workforce in China, setting a historical high and contributing to the immense pressure on job seekers. A teacher from a university in Shanghai recently posted online saying, "The dean told us that the employment rate for our foreign language school graduates this year is only 7.7%. Out of over 100 graduates, only 9 have secured jobs."